We just came back from a road trip to Bubble Lake, and that's why the Tesla Model Y is so dirty. But we're not going to talk about dirty cars and dirty EVs today. Actually, on the trip there, I was kind of thinking about how awesome it would be to have a screen in the back of my Tesla. So this was the thing that I really like about the Juniper refresh of the Model Y, simply because it has that screen in the second row that people can utilize, watch shows, and enjoy themselves a little bit with some entertainment on a road trip. So this is something that unfortunately the older Teslas don't have. So when Hansshow reached out to me and asked me to review one of their Tesla Model Y screens for the older Model Y, I was very happy to do that. I want to have a screen in the back. I want my passengers to enjoy some entertainment, especially because my wife loves to watch shows while we are traveling. So I'll show you guys a little bit of how she does it and why a screen like this is awesome, because she can just be relaxing in the back and enjoying herself on road trips. All right, so let's get into the video then. I'll show you what the screen looks like. We'll install it, and then you'll get some of my pros and cons at the end, and I'll show you how it all works. So usually when we're on a road trip, my wife Rosie, she likes to entertain herself this way. So she's using a neck pillow as a place to put her cell phone, and she's always staring down at her lap, which is not always great for the neck and shoulders. But after we've installed the screen, she's able to sit in the back, lounging. She's got the armrest, more natural position, and of course she's watching her favorite show, Left Coast EV, on YouTube. So this is a way more ergonomic and better way to watch shows, videos, whatever you like. Plus, the screen is bigger. And also another feature that I like is that I don't have to turn on the heated seats from the front, because always people who sat in the back ask me, "Hey Philip, can you turn on the heated seat for me?" This way they can just have control over the heated seats on their own, and I don't have to be bothered while driving. Finally, lots of different entertainment options built in. So now let's look at the unboxing real quick. So this is the newest version of the screen that Hansshow has on sale, and this is the one that they sent to me. Packaging very well done, very well protected, and no damage while it was on the way to me. As you guys can see, packed very well, comes with a lot of literature as well as QR codes to a video that shows you how to install it properly. So this is what comes in the box. You've got the unit itself, the screen, you've got the OBD cable that lets you connect to the car, you've got a prying tool, you've got a cap for one of the wires, and also quite important, you've got a USB-A to USB-C adapter that will come handy later. And this is a quick look at the back of the unit. Very well made. All the wires are very clearly visible. We start the installation by turning off the Tesla. So you go into the safety menu, scroll to the bottom, and then push turn off for the car. Do this because you don't want any power lingering within the vehicle where you're doing this. Then get all your stuff ready. I like to move the seats forward a bit just to give myself some room, but I'm no professional, so this video is really not that comprehensive. Look for other videos if you're looking for detailed instructions. So I decided that the best way would be to start with the top and remove the air vents. I thought that would be the easiest way to do it. So I first took off the top of the vents. That was very easy to do. The next was the bottom, just a few clips. And this gives us access to the OBD port that also speaks with the vehicle as well as the screen. The two screws that you saw just now need to be removed just to make it simpler to get that other piece of plastic out and away so you can work better. Now it's time to undo the OBD port and then use the provided cable to connect the two sides. Then cap this one wire that is left over. And then if everything is connected, then the screen will turn on. Make sure all the functions are working before sealing everything back up. For me, it was working, so I sealed it all up and I decided to remove the screen protector. There's actually two of them, so there's another one underneath. Let's take a quick look at all the different functions. So right now I'm in camp mode, as you guys can see, because I want to make sure that this all stays on while I'm in the back filming. But so when you first start it up, this is the screen that appears. It's your climate screen. That's where it defaults to. And I like it because this is the one that most people are going to use most of the time. So If it defaults to here, I'm happy. The next one is the second coolest screen, which I already mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is for turning on and off the heated seats in the vehicle, so people who are staying in the back don't have to ask the driver to do that, because without a screen like that, well, the driver has to help you. And the next thing is this one here. This one helps you to move the seat on the right hand side forward a little bit. So there you go. Yeah, it moves. Okay, so in case you're in the back, nobody's sitting in the front, and then you want to make yourself more comfortable, use this function. Next thing, music control. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then here is your app store. So you can log into your Google account, obviously, and download more apps if you wish. So there are some preloaded, but you can install as many as you like. That is up to you. Then the next one is your, what I like to call, entertainment center. So this is where your Netflix shortcut is, your YouTube, TikTok shortcuts, as well as local video, which is awesome because there are two USB-C ports that you can use to then stream movies that you have downloaded. So if you have kids and you've downloaded some movies for a long road trip, just use local video, because otherwise you will need to connect this to your phone's hotspot and then be able to stream, because it doesn't have its own SIM card, nor does it connect to the Tesla data system that they have. So just local video, that's the best way. Kids can watch what they like and you don't have to worry about data. And then finally here, these are some device settings, very cryptic ones. I'm not really sure what all of it was. I just set my time, but there's like rudder settings. I'm guessing that's the wheel on which side of the car. So for me, it's left-hand drive, right? And then there's like an about page. But most of the time, you're going to be sticking to this. The buttons are capacitive, obviously, but they're pretty responsive. Touchscreen in itself, also pretty responsive, I would say. You know, like if I go here and I want to turn on the driver's side heated seats, so there's a slight delay, so it's not as responsive as the Tesla screen, but I would say good enough for a third-party product. So that's a little bit of an overview of what the functions look like here. And then obviously here, let's zoom in so you guys can see we have two USB-C ports. One for data transfer, so this is where if you have local video stored, then you can plug it in here, and this one is a charging one only. And then this one, the left-hand side, is also used for the firmware update, which I'm going to talk about in a second. If you guys remember, during the unboxing I mentioned that this whole kit comes with a USB-C to USB-A adapter, and I said it's worth to have that inside the kit. So the reason for this is very, very simple. Let me explain. When you first get this unit and install it, every time it boots up, it will show an animation or an ad for Hansshow, just like I will put on an overlay here. And it's super annoying to have that play all the time. So if you are as annoyed by this as me, well, you can contact Hansshow support, and then they will email you guys a firmware update that you can just install onto the device, and then you don't have to worry about that ad playing every time this starts. So this is why you need a flash drive, and then obviously USB-A to USB-C adapter comes in handy, because I don't have any USB-C flash drives. If you do, well, then you're winning. You don't need that. You can just plug it in, and it goes into this one here on the left. That is where you just plug it in, and then it will update the firmware automatically, remove that ad, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So I suggest everybody do this. And a quick word about the quality of the screen, and I have to say, for over 8 inches, this is great. Clarity is awesome. And then if you watch your favorite EV related YouTube channel, the quality is pretty good, and watching movies on a longer road trip in the back, it is great. So definitely recommend it as a very nice addition to your Tesla, and an awesome entertainment device for the back passengers. Now it's time for, I would say, the final test. Basically, I want to see how quickly this screen initiates when you start up the car. So right now we've got camp mode, as you guys can see over there. So we will turn off camp mode, close the door, wait a little bit, and then see if we open the door how quickly this screen boots up in relation to the front screen in the car. Now it's time for the test to see how fast it turns on. So the front screen's off, back screen's off. I'm gonna open up the door and let's see what happens. How quickly does it boot up? So first thing that appears is, as you guys can see, the silhouette. Not sure if this is a Model 3 or a Model Y, but that's one of the little things that happens on startup. This one I like. I have no issues with this one. And now the Android splash screen appears. So this is instead of having the Hansshow ad running as I showed you guys. For me, I'd rather have this little Android logo than the whole ad for Hansshow. And now there we go. So I will calculate how long that took. I'll put up the number here from getting into the car to the screen being ready to go. It's not too long. For a third-party product, I think it works well. So that is all for the functions and looking at all of the different things associated with the screen. So now it is time for my conclusion. Do I recommend it? Should you buy one? Now let's go talk about it. So is this screen from Hansshow worth it? I mean, if you have already a Juniper refresh Model Y, well, then you have one OEM installed in the back. So no, you don't need one. However, if you have an older Tesla like I do, and you want to provide some entertainment to passengers who sit in the back, especially if you have a bunch of kids, then yes, this is a great option. One of my favorite things about it is the fact that you can locally just play movies that you download or rip from DVDs, whatever is easier. And then you don't need to use data, and the kids don't need to be on their devices using data while you're traveling on extensive road trips. So this is just a added bonus. The screen is big enough. I would say it actually looks better in the Model Y than it does in the Model 3, simply because it's a bit higher in the Model Y. So it's a more natural viewing angle if you're sitting on the back seats. So definitely keep that in mind. If you have a Model Y, you're going to have a much better viewing angle than on a Model 3, where the console is a bit lower. But overall, I can't fault it. It has its own internet connection. You can download apps from the Google Play Store. You have settings for heating, ventilation, all of the things that people in the back need. Turn on, turn off your heated seats as well. Super simple, super easy, and people can just do that from the back seat. So definitely, if you're looking to get something like this, I would suggest getting it from Hansshow. It's really good. The screen quality is quite good, easy installation. So find the link in the description of the video to the exact one that I have, and consider getting one for yourself. So that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.